The ocean world of Narita was calm that morning. The silver-blue waves reflected the twin suns, and far below the surface, endless mysteries slept in the dark. Few humans ever dared to explore its deep waters. Most who tried returned with broken machines or haunting silence. But Mina, a young engineer, never feared the unknown. To her, the ocean was a treasure chest filled with stories waiting to be told. Mina stood on the deck of her small exploration ship, Wave Seeker, gazing at the vast blue horizon. Her dark hair fluttered in the salty breeze as she checked her scanner. The radar showed strange readings near the western ridge, something metallic, large, and old. The readings were deep, far below where sunlight could reach. Her crew, Taro and Lena, stood beside her. Taro, the navigator, was calm and quiet, his eyes always on the instruments. Lena, the scout, was cheerful but cautious. They had worked together for years, exploring sunken ruins and lost wrecks on different planets. But this time, something about the signal felt different. "Mina, this one's deep," Taro said, frowning at the numbers. "Almost 600 meters down. No ship should be there. It's too unstable." Mina smiled softly. "That's why we go, Taro. No one else will." Lena adjusted her diving gear. "I just hope it's not another false reading like last time." "I don't want to find a pile of old metal again." Mina laughed lightly. "You'll see. This one feels special." They prepared the submersible, a small round craft named Blue Eye. It had thick glass windows and bright front lights, strong enough to cut through the ocean's darkness. Mina checked every control twice before entering. She trusted machines more than people, but only when she built or fixed them herself. Once the engines hummed, the Blue Eye slowly descended into the sea. The light from the twin suns faded above them as they went deeper and deeper. Strange glowing creatures floated past, some shaped like ribbons, some like spinning wheels. The silence of the deep wrapped around them, broken only by the soft hum of the sub's engines. After about 20 minutes, the radar beeped sharply. "There," Taro said. "Ahead, 200 meters." Lena pressed her face close to the window. "I see it." Something huge. The lights of the Blue Eye revealed a massive shadow resting on the ocean floor. As they got closer, the shape became clear. It was a ship, long and curved, made of dark metal that shimmered faintly. It didn't look human. Its hull was covered with strange marks, glowing slightly like ancient symbols. Mina's eyes widened. "It's not one of ours," she whispered. "Not human design. Look at that structure. It's like it was built from living metal." Taro's voice was uneasy. "Maybe it's alien. We should report it before touching anything." But Mina shook her head slowly. "No. If we report it now, others will come and take it apart for money. I want to understand it first. I want to see what's inside." They carefully guided the Blue Eye through a broken section of the ship's side. The passage was dark and narrow, filled with floating bits of rusted panels and old cables. As they entered, faint blue lights flickered on inside the wreck as if the ship recognized their presence. Lena whispered, "Did you see that?" The lights came on, by themselves. Mina looked around amazed. "It's reacting to us. This technology, it's still alive." They reached what looked like the engine room. The space was wide and round, with large tubes running along the walls. In the center stood a massive core, a machine made of crystal and metal intertwined. It was cracked, but faint pulses of light moved through it like a beating heart. Mina's breath caught. "Incredible. It's still working after all this time." Taro studied the scanner. "It's generating weak power. If you touch it wrong, it could explode." Mina smiled a little. "That's why I'll be careful. Help me scan the structure. I want to see how it was built." She floated closer to the core, using her small repair drone to take readings. The core emitted a soft humming sound, deep and rhythmic. When she placed her hand near it, she felt warmth, almost like it was alive. For a moment, she thought she heard something faint, a whisper just at the edge of hearing, but when she looked at her crew, they seemed not to notice. "There's something strange here," she murmured. "This isn't just a power source. It feels connected," Lena frowned. "Connected to what?" "I don't know yet." As she worked, she noticed a small panel at the base of the core, half buried in sand. Carefully, she brushed it away and found an ancient marking, a symbol shaped like a spiral sun. It glowed faintly when her hand brushed across it. "Mina, be careful," Taro warned. "That's reacting to you." "I think it wants to be fixed," she said softly. "Look at it, it's responding." She activated her toolkit and started repairing a broken link between two crystal veins in the engine. As soon as the link was reconnected, the entire room lit up with bright blue light. The symbols on the walls glowed in patterns moving like waves of energy. The Blue Eye's control panels beeped loudly. Taro looked alarmed. Power levels are rising. The ship's waking up. Mina stepped back, her heart racing. It's alive. After all this time. The light pulsed faster, then slowly dimmed, leaving a gentle glow behind. The scanners now showed stable energy readings. The ship was no longer dead, it was breathing again in a way. Lena's voice trembled. What did you just do? I think, Mina said, her voice filled with wonder. I just repaired its heart. The three stared at the glowing engine in silence. The ocean outside seemed to grow still, as if the entire world was waiting. Then suddenly something new appeared on their radar, a small signal coming from deep inside the engine core itself. Taro looked puzzled. There's something inside, like a separate chamber. Mina leaned closer to the screen. A chamber? In the engine? Lena whispered. Maybe it's just machinery. But Mina shook her head. No, that energy pulse feels different, almost alive. She looked at the glowing core again. Tomorrow we open it. We find out what's inside. As they ascended back to the surface for rest, the Blue Eye's rear camera caught something strange. Inside the engine room after they left, a faint light moved within the core, like a small shape turning its head, watching them go. The ocean outside remained calm, but the silence felt heavy, as if something ancient had awakened beneath the waves. Mina didn't know it yet, but her discovery would soon change everything, her life, her world, and even humanity's understanding of the universe. The engine she had restored was not just a machine. It was a secret waiting for millions of years to be found. And now, it had finally opened its eyes. The next morning, the ocean of Narita was calm and silver under the rising suns. The small ship Wave Seeker floated quietly on the surface. Below, the deep water hid the sleeping giant, the sunken vessel Mina had found. Inside her cabin, Mina sat at her desk, staring at the readings on her screen. The data from last night showed something impossible. The ship's engine, which had been silent for maybe thousands of years, now had a pulse. A stable, repeating energy pattern, almost like a heartbeat. Taro entered with 2 cups of tea. You didn't sleep again, he said quietly. Mina smiled tiredly. I couldn't. Look at this, Taro. The reading stayed steady all night. It's alive in some way. It's not just metal. He frowned and placed the cups down. Machines don't stay alive, Mina. They just work or stop working. Maybe this one is leaking energy. Mina shook her head. No, it's too regular. Too clean. I think it's reacting to us, maybe to my repairs. Something inside is running again. Lena entered, pulling on her diving suit. So what's the plan today? Go back down and open the core? Yes, Mina said firmly. We'll open it. But carefully. Taro sighed, knowing he couldn't stop her. Mina had that look. The same look she had every time she found something special. When she focused on a machine, the world around her seemed to disappear. Within an hour, they were inside the Blue Eye again, descending into the silent blue world below. The deeper they went, the darker it grew, until only the soft glow of strange sea creatures lit their way. As they reached the wreck, the ship's lights came on automatically again, faint blue lines that pulsed gently along the walls. It was as if the ship was greeting them. Lena whispered, "It remembers us." Mina smiled. Maybe it does. They entered the engine chamber again. The huge core stood quietly, its cracks glowing with soft light. The place felt peaceful but also mysterious, like standing inside the heart of a sleeping giant. Mina floated closer, her tool pack strapped to her back. Taro scanned the chamber again. I want to see if the internal energy changed overnight. Taro checked the readings. It's stronger now. The core's output doubled since last night. That means it's recovering, Mina said softly. It wants to work again. She began cleaning away the layers of sand and debris from around the engine base. The strange metal didn't rust. It shimmered under her light, smooth as glass. She used small drones to lift away broken panels and wires. Each time she touched the structure, the symbols on it glowed brighter as if the ship understood her actions. Lena floated near the doorway, keeping watch. You sure it's safe? As safe as it can be, Mina replied. But I think this ship isn't just a wreck, it feels aware. Taro muttered. Machines can't be aware. Mina smiled slightly. Maybe this one can. After an hour of slow, careful work, she found the small panel she had noticed before, the one with the spiral sun symbol. Now the symbol glowed softly on its own. Beneath it, a seam in the metal hinted at a hidden compartment. "This must be the chamber we saw on the radar," Mina said. "Something is sealed inside." Taro floated closer. "And you're planning to open it?" "Yes," Mina said simply. "If something has been running this long, we need to know what it is." She placed her palm on the spiral sun symbol. For a moment, nothing happened. Then the light under her hand brightened and the metal shifted with a low hum. The panel slowly unfolded like petals of a flower, revealing a narrow passage inside the engine core. A soft blue mist drifted out, glowing faintly. Mina held up her scanner. The air is stable. Temperature normal. Energy levels high but safe. The passage led to a small chamber, round and quiet. In the center floated a crystal sphere about the size of a helmet. It rotated slowly, shining with inner light. Inside the sphere, faint shapes moved, lying like flowing lines or sparks of life. Mina stared in silence. "Beautiful," Lena whispered. "What is it?" "I don't know yet," Mina said. "But it's alive," Taro frowned. "Alive? It's a crystal." "No," Mina said softly. "It's moving with purpose. It's aware of us." As they watched, the light inside the sphere grew brighter. Lines of glowing symbols appeared around the chamber, floating in the air like writing. None of them could read it, but it looked ancient and elegant. Suddenly, Mina felt something and a soft voice inside her mind. It wasn't words, but a feeling like a warm breeze brushing across her thoughts. She gasped and stepped back. "Mina?" Taro asked quickly. "What happened?" She blinked, surprised. "It spoke to me. Not in words. More like an image and a memory." "What did you see?" Lena asked. Mina paused, trying to describe it. "I saw stars. A city made of light. And then an explosion. The ship falling, crashing into the ocean, I think. It's showing us what happened." The sphere pulsed softly as if agreeing. Then the symbols changed, forming new patterns. Taro's scanner beeped. "Mina, the energy in this room is building again. We should leave before it overloads." "No," Mina said. "Wait, it's not dangerous. It's trying to communicate." She stepped closer again, placing her hand near the sphere but not touching it. The light glowed warmer and she felt the same presence, curious, gentle, and old. "It's lonely," she whispered. "It's been trapped here for so long." Lena looked uneasy. "Maybe we shouldn't interfere." Mina turned to her. "If this thing has been alive for centuries, it deserves to be heard." "What if it's the last of its kind?" Taro sighed. "And what if it wakes something worse?" Before Mina could answer, the sphere flashed suddenly bright. A pulse of blue energy filled the room, shaking the water around them. The blue eyes' lights flickered and their suit's sensors went wild. "Mina, pull back," Taro shouted. But then the light calmed and a soft sound echoed in their minds. A single, clear thought that all three of them understood. "Help me." The voice was gentle, almost like a child's, but filled with sadness. Mina's eyes widened. "Did you both hear that?" Lena nodded slowly. "Yes." It said, "Help me." Mina looked at the glowing sphere. "There's someone or something inside this core, trapped." She took a deep breath. "I'm going to connect the repair systems and see if I can stabilize its energy. Maybe it's weak." Taro hesitated. "If you're wrong, we could all sink with this ship." Mina smiled faintly. "Then let's make sure I'm not wrong." For the next several hours, Mina worked carefully. She used fine tools and drones to repair the crystal channels around the sphere. Each time she repaired a broken part, the ship's lights grew stronger. The hum of the engine became steady, deep, and smooth. It felt like the entire ship was breathing again. Finally, when the last connection was sealed, the sphere stopped spinning. The light inside changed from blue to soft gold. Then a shape appeared inside, a small being of pure light floating peacefully. It opened its glowing eyes. Mina gasped softly. "You're awake." The being looked at her, its light pulsing gently, and then spoke again. Not with sound, but directly into their minds. "Thank you." The engine room filled with golden light, warm and calm. The ship's metal walls glowed softly like they were alive again. Mina floated there, amazed, her heart racing. She had repaired many machines before, but never one that spoke back. She whispered, "Who are you?" The being's light shimmered, and in her mind she heard a new word, Ari. And with that single name, the story of the sunken ship began to unfold. The golden light faded slowly, leaving the engine room calm and quiet once again, but nothing felt the same anymore. The small being of light, who called itself Ari, floated above the crystal sphere like a tiny sun. It was beautiful and gentle, with a soft glow that warmed the cold water around it. Mina, Taro, and Lena stared in silence. None of them could move or speak at first. They had seen strange things before, old alien relics, strange machines, even energy storms, but never something like this. Finally, Mina whispered, "You're alive. You were inside this engine all this time." Ori's light pulsed softly, and its voice echoed directly in their minds, calm and kind. "Yes, I waited. A long time," Lena blinked in amazement. "Waited for what?" "For someone to listen," Ori replied. "For someone to understand." Mina floated closer, her eyes full of wonder. "Who built this ship, Ari? Where did you come from?" Ori turned slowly, and its golden light dimmed to a soft blue. "Long ago, my people traveled among stars. We searched for knowledge. This ship was one of our hearts. But something happened. A storm of energy. The ship fell here. Everyone went silent. I stayed to protect the memory." Taro looked uneasy. "So you're some kind of guardian?" "A guardian, yes," Ori said. "And a voice of what was lost." Mina felt a deep sadness in Ari's tone. "You've been alone for centuries," she said softly. "Alone, until you came," Ari replied. The golden being floated closer to her, and for a moment the light touched her gloved hand. The water shimmered with warmth. Mina felt a strange calm inside, as if Ari's light carried not just heat, but emotions, peace, curiosity, and hope. Lena whispered, "Mina, what if it's dangerous?" "We don't know what it wants," but Mina shook her head. "Look at it, Lena, it's not hurting us. It could have destroyed us if it wanted to. Instead it talked." Taro still looked doubtful. "Talking doesn't mean safe. You've seen what old machines can do when they wake." Before Mina could reply, Ari's light brightened again. "I am not a weapon. I was never made to fight. I was made to remember." "Remember what?" Mina asked. "A warning," Ari said. "My people once discovered a source of great power, energy that could shape worlds. But we did not use it wisely. It destroyed many. The ship you found carried part of that energy. Locked inside this engine," Mina frowned. "You mean this engine holds a dangerous energy?" Ari nodded, glowing softly. "Yes, it can give life or it can end it. I kept it hidden so no one would use it again. But now it is weak. Time has taken much from me." Mina looked around the chamber. The engine walls were cracked and old. But now that she looked closer, she saw fine lines of damage spreading like veins. "If this energy leaks, it could be dangerous to the whole ocean," she said. "It could," Ari agreed. "But together we can restore it. We can make it safe again." Taro sighed. "Mina, you're not seriously thinking about fixing this thing again, are you? You just woke an alien being from the past." Mina smiled gently. "Yes, I did. And I think it needs our help." Lena crossed her arms. "Or it wants to use us. You always trust machines too fast." Mina looked at her friend calmly. "Machines can't choose. But Ari can. It's alive. You felt it too." "I think it's telling the truth." Ari floated quietly, then spoke again, voice soft and sad. "If you wish to leave, I understand. But if you stay, I will show you what my people were, and what you can become." That caught everyone's attention. "What do you mean?" Mina asked. The chamber darkened, and the light from Ari spread across the walls like a movie. Suddenly, the three humans saw images. Stars, shining cities floating in space, and ships shaped like crystal birds flying between them. Tall, graceful beings worked with light instead of metal, building wonders across worlds. Ori's voice echoed softly. "My people believed knowledge could make peace, but pride turned to greed. When they found the energy at the center of a dying sun, they tried to control it. It burned our home, and only a few ships escaped. This was one of them." The image changed. A storm of fire and light tearing through space, then the ship falling into the dark sea of Narrated. "I tried to keep the engine stable," Ori said quietly, "but I could not save them. I stayed behind to guard the memory and the power." The images faded. The engine room returned to its calm glow. Mina's voice was gentle. "You've carried this alone for so long." Ari's light shimmered softly. "Alone, until now." There was silence for a long moment. The crew felt something deep inside, a mix of sadness and respect. Taro finally said, "If what you say is true, others will come for this." That energy could change everything. Lena nodded. If people find out, they'll fight for it. Mina looked thoughtful. Then we have to protect it. Help Ari fix the ship before anyone else finds it. Taro sighed again, but finally nodded. You're the boss, Mina. Just don't let it blow us up. Mina smiled faintly. I'll do my best. She turned to Ari. Tell me what to do. Ari's light grew brighter. We must realign the energy channels. They are broken and leaking. If we do not fix them, the power will escape. With Ari's guidance, Mina and her crew began working. The being showed them how the energy flowed through crystal veins hidden inside the metal walls. It was strange and beautiful. The ship was built more like a living creature than a machine. Each connection hummed softly as Mina repaired it. Hours passed as they worked together. Ari helped by projecting small fields of light that guided Mina's tools. It was almost like having another engineer with them, only far more advanced. When the last energy channel was sealed, the entire ship glowed brighter than before. The lights on the walls formed patterns moving like water waves. Mina floated back and smiled. It's beautiful. It is alive again, Ari said softly. You have done what I could not. Suddenly, Taro's scanner beeped. Wait, there's a new signal. Something big is approaching. Lena looked toward the dark window. From where? Above us, Taro said, a ship. And it's sending scanning pulses toward the wreck. Mina frowned. It must be a mining group. They use those scans to find energy sources. Lena's voice grew tense. If they detect this ship, they'll come down here. They'll take everything. Ori's light dimmed slightly. They must not touch the core. If they do, it could destroy them. Mina made a quick decision. We need to protect you and this ship. Taro shut down all outgoing signals. Lena, prepare the blue eye for quick movement. They rushed to follow her orders. The ship's glow faded as Ari dimmed the lights to hide their presence. The deep sea grew dark and silent again. The only light left was the faint golden shimmer of Ari's form. Mina looked at it and whispered, We'll keep you safe. I promise. Ari's light brightened softly. Then I am not alone anymore. Outside, far above in the cold water, a new shadow moved, a large mining vessel lowering its sensors toward the sea floor. The peace of Narida's deep ocean was ending. Something much larger was about to begin. The deep ocean of Narita was silent once again, but the peace did not last long. Far above the sunken alien ship, a dark shape moved through the water, a heavy mining vessel named Iron Claw. It was large, loud, and powerful, built for tearing metal from the ocean floor. Inside the control room of the Iron Claw stood its captain, Bran, a tall man with cold eyes. He stared at the glowing map on his screen. A strange energy reading had appeared near the western ridge, strong, clean, and steady. Bran's lips curved into a hard smile. That's no ordinary wreck. There's something big down there, maybe a power core. His assistant, a young technician named Rafi, hesitated. Sir, the reading is old, very old. It could be dangerous. Bran laughed. Dangerous means valuable. Prepare the diving crew. We're going to claim it. Below, deep in the blue silence, Mina, Taro, Lena, and Ari worked quickly inside the alien ship. The ship's lights were dim, hiding them in the dark. Ari floated quietly near the main console, its golden light faint. Their scanners are getting closer, Taro said. I can hear the pulse waves echoing through the hull. Lena looked uneasy. They'll find us any minute. Mina turned to Ari. Can we move this ship? Can it fly again? Ari's light flickered gently. Not yet. The energy is still weak. The systems are old and need more time. Then we have to hide, Mina said quickly. If they find you, they'll take everything apart to study you. Or worse. Ari glowed brighter for a moment. There is a small path under the ship, a natural cave in the rock. You can move the blue eye there. I will help mask your signal. Taro nodded. Let's do it. We don't have long. The crew hurried to the submersible and sealed the hatch. As the blue eye powered up, Ari floated near the window, shining softly like a lantern in the dark. Follow my light, Ari said. The blue eye moved slowly beneath the alien ship, through drifting sand and broken pieces of metal. Ari guided. them down a narrow passage between two rocks until they reached a deep hidden cave. The walls glowed faintly with blue crystals, lighting the space with a quiet beauty. "This will hide you for a while," Ori said. "But the big ship will not stop searching." Mina stared at the scanner. "They've already dropped drones. We can't stay here forever." Ori floated close. "There is another way. I can use the ship's old defense field to block their scans. But I will need more power." "How much more?" Mina asked. "Too much for what remains inside the core," Ori replied softly. "You would have to connect your ship's power to mine." Taro frowned. "That could burn out our systems." Mina nodded. "Maybe. But if we don't try, they'll find us and take everything. We have no choice." Back above them, Captain Brand's mining drones reached the ocean floor. The machine scanned through the dark water with bright red lights, sending waves of sonar that echoed through the sea. "There it is," Brand said, watching the readings appear. "A structure of unknown metal. That's our prize." Rafi looked nervous. "Sir, there's movement near it, maybe another ship." Brand's eyes narrowed. "Then someone is trying to steal my discovery. Send the armed divers. If anyone's down there, bring them to me." In the hidden cave, the hum of the alien ship grew louder as Mina linked the Blue Eye's power lines to the ship's ancient energy ports. Sparks of blue light flashed as the two systems connected. "Power transfer starting," Taro said. "Levels rising fast." The alien ship responded immediately. The symbols along the walls began to glow again, and the faint hum turned into a deep, steady pulse. Ori floated near the core, its golden light stronger now. "Yes, it's working. I can control the defense field again." A low vibration filled the cave as waves of soft light spread through the water, wrapping the ship in a protective shield. The mining drones outside suddenly lost their signal. On the Ironclaw, Rafi looked up from his console. "Sir, all our drones went offline." Brand slammed his hand on the table. "Something's jamming them. Increase the scan power." But that could overload the system. "Do it," Brand barked. Deep below, the energy field around Ari's ship wavered as the stronger scans hit it. The walls trembled. "They're forcing their scanners through," Lena shouted. Ari's light flickered. "I cannot hold it for long." Mina gritted her teeth. "Then we'll make it harder for them." She turned to Taro. "Open the Blue Eye's defense pods, release the decoys." Taro obeyed quickly. The small metallic pods shot out into the water, releasing clouds of bright light and static noise. The scans from above became confused, unable to focus. "It's working," Taro said, smiling. But before they could relax, an alarm beeped sharply. "New readings," Lena shouted. "Several signals. Big ones. They're sending divers down." Mina's heart raced. "How many?" "At least 5, Lena said. "And they're armed." Ori floated toward her, glowing brighter. "They cannot reach this chamber unless they find the main gate. But once they do, they will try to destroy it." "Then we'll stop them before that happens," Mina said firmly. Minutes later, bright lights appeared outside the shipwreck. The mining divers moved carefully, their suits heavy with tools and weapons. They cut through the outer hull of the alien ship with lasers, sending clouds of glowing dust into the dark water. From the cave, Mina watched through the scanner. "They're in, heading toward the engine room." Taro looked worried. "We can't fight them underwater," Mina thought quickly. "No, but we can slow them down." "Auri, can you control parts of the ship?" "Yes," Auri replied. "The corridors and doors still answer to my light." "Then seal the paths behind them," Mina said. "Trap them before they reach the core." Auri's glow brightened. Waves of blue light spread through the ship. One by one, the metal doors inside the wreck slammed shut. In the main hall of the wreck, the divers looked around in surprise as paths closed behind them. "What's happening?" one shouted. "The ship's moving by itself," another yelled. Brand's voice came through their radios. "Stay calm. Keep going. Cut through if you must." The divers moved forward, cutting their way deeper. But as they reached the engine room, the lights changed from blue to gold. A soft voice filled the chamber. Ari's voice. "Leave this place." The divers froze, confused by the voice echoing in their helmets. Then the floor panels beneath them shifted slightly, releasing a small burst of bright energy. It wasn't harmful, but the light and shock sent them floating backward in panic. One of them shouted, "It's alive! The ship's alive!" They turned and fled toward the exit, their lights vanishing into the dark. Back in the cave, Mina and her crew watched the scanner as the signals moved away. "They're retreating," Taro said, relieved. Lena smiled faintly. "Looks like we scared them off." But Ori's light dimmed again. "They will return. The leader above will not stop. He wants the energy for himself." Mina nodded. "Then we'll be ready. When they come back, we'll move the ship before they can reach it again." Ori floated near her shoulder. "The systems will soon be strong enough to rise, but it will take one more day." "Then that's what we'll give you," Mina said. "One more day." She looked out through the window into the dark ocean, where faint red lights from the Iron Claw still glowed in the distance. The battle for the secret of the sunken ship had only just begun, and Mina knew that soon, the whole world would learn that something far greater than a machine was waiting under the sea. The next morning came slowly in the deep sea. The light from the surface was faint and pale, filtering down like threads of silver. The alien ship lay hidden in the cave, quiet and still, but inside energy began to move again. Mina stood near the main control room of the Blue Eye, staring at the glowing readings. The alien ship's power level was rising, steady and strong. Taro checked his tools. "The link is holding. Energy flow is stable." Lena watched the screen, her eyes wide. The system's patterns looked different now, almost like it's waking up. Ori floated near them, its golden light calm and bright. "You are correct. The ship's heart is almost complete. Soon it will rise again." Mina nodded, though her heart was heavy. "And then what happens, Ori? You'll leave us?" "I must," Ori replied softly. "My purpose was to sleep until the right mind found me. Someone who would not use my power for harm." "You have done that." Taro leaned on the console. "But that mining ship up there won't stop. Captain Brand still wants this ship. He'll come again, and next time he'll bring more firepower." Mina took a deep breath. "Then we'll protect this place until Ori can go. We owe it that much." Above them, the Iron Claw drifted like a dark shadow. Captain Brand paced the bridge with anger burning in his eyes. "Those divers saw something alive down there," he said, a voice alight. "That means there's advanced tech, maybe an AI." Raffi looked uneasy. "Sir, maybe we should report it first." "The government," Brand cut him off. "No, if we tell them, they'll take it from us." "This is mine," he turned to his crew. "Charge the seismic cannons. We'll blast the ridge open and drag that ship out no matter what it takes." The crew hesitated, but no one dared to disobey. Massive cannons on the sides of the Iron Claw began to power up, glowing red through the water. Down below, alarms rang through the Blue Eye. "Energy spikes from above," Taro shouted. "They're charging heavy weapons." Mina's face went pale. "They're going to break open the cave." Ori floated toward the console, its light flashing faster. "If they do that, the rock will collapse. You must move your ship immediately." "But what about you?" Mina asked. "I can move my vessel now, but I still need more power to rise safely. If the rocks fall, I will be trapped again." Mina thought for a moment, then spoke quickly. "Taro, Lena, disconnect half our backup cells and transfer full energy to Ori's core." Lena looked shocked. "That will drain the Blue Eye." "I know," Mina said firmly. "But it's the only way. We came here to save this ship, not watch it die again." Taro nodded. "You heard her. Let's move." They worked fast, hands shaking but hearts steady. The Blue Eye's lights flickered as energy poured into the alien ship. The walls of the cave began to rumble, dust and stones falling from above. The Iron Claw's cannons fired. A deep roar filled the ocean as waves of red energy smashed into the ridge. The cave cracked, sending clouds of debris into the water. Inside, Mina grabbed a support bar to steady herself. "Ori now!" Ori's light grew so bright that the whole cave turned gold. The alien ship's engines, silent for thousands of years, burst to life with a deep musical hum. The floor vibrated and streams of blue light ran across the hull like veins of fire. "Hold on," Ori said. "The ship is rising." The Blue Eye and the alien ship began to move together, pushing through the collapsing rocks. Massive chunks of stone fell around them, but the energy shield held firm. Outside, Captain Brand watched in disbelief as a golden glow burst out from the ridge, growing larger and brighter. "What is that?" Raffi shouted. Brand's eyes widened. It's coming up. The wreck. It's alive. He slammed his fist on the console. Fire everything. Stop it before it reaches the surface. Missiles and laser bursts rained down through the water. The Blue Eye dodged as best as it could, but the sea was chaos. Mina, we can't take much more, Taro shouted. Our shields are almost gone. Ari's voice filled the cabin. Stay close to me. My shield will protect you. The golden light around the alien ship expanded, covering the Blue Eye completely. The missiles hit the shield, but they vanished like sparks in the wind. Inside the Iron Claw, systems began to fail. Lights flickered. Control screens went dark. Rafi shouted, The energy! It's overloading everything. Brand's face twisted with fury. Keep firing. But it was too late. The alien ship rose faster, breaking through the final layer of rock and then the ocean itself. The surface of the sea exploded with light. The alien ship emerged, shining like a golden sunrise. Water poured from its smooth hull as it hovered silently above the waves. The Blue Eye floated beside it, small and fragile but still alive. Mina stared in awe. It's beautiful. Ari appeared before them, glowing brighter than ever. You gave me the strength to rise again. I will not forget it, Mina smiled softly. We only gave back what the sea had hidden. Below them, the Iron Claw broke through the waves, damaged and smoking. Captain Brand stood on the deck, staring up at the glowing ship with a mix of greed and fear. He shouted through his communicator, That's mine. You can't take it. Ari turned its light toward him. Greed blinds you. You seek power, but power without wisdom destroys. A bright beam of gold light flashed from the ship, surrounding the Iron Claw. When it faded, the mining ship was powerless, its engines dead, its lights out. Floating quietly on the calm sea, Brand fell to his knees, speechless. Inside the Blue Eye, Mina looked at Ori. What will you do now? My time here is over, Ori said. But my memory will stay in this world. I will send my light into the sky where your people can see and learn. Mina's eyes softened. Will we ever meet again? Perhaps not in body, Ari said gently. But every time you look at the stars, you will see me there. Then with a deep, soft sound, the alien ship began to rise higher into the sky. The golden light grew brighter, spreading across the ocean. The crew watched in silence as the ship vanished into the clouds, leaving behind only a trail of shining mist that faded into the blue. Days later, Mina, Taro, and Lena returned to the surface port. Reporters surrounded them, asking endless questions. Was it true? One shouted. Did you really find a living ship? Mina smiled calmly. We found something greater than a ship. We found proof that not everything in the sea is lost forever. Some things just wait, for the right hands to help them rise again. Taro and Lena nodded beside her, proud and silent. That night, as Mina stood alone by the ocean, she looked up at the sky. Among the stars, one point of light shimmered brighter than the rest, golden and warm. She smiled. Goodbye, Ori. Thank you. The wind moved softly across the water, and for a moment she thought she heard a gentle voice whisper back, Thank you, Mina. The sea was quiet again. But deep within that silence, a new hope had been born, one that would remind all of humanity that kindness and courage could awaken even the oldest lights of the universe.